that's one of the glorious things about working with us is the ability to work in all three channels. So what I'm going to go over with everybody today is what entitles each channel. I'm going to assume, and I hate making this assumption, but I'm going to assume that most people have worked in the broker channel as opposed to the correspondent channel. So that's generally the feeling we get from the feedback from everybody once they're done. So what we'll do is talk about that. We'll go into that. We'll go into pricing. We're going to go into what it's like to deal with a delegated lender, what it's like to deal on the wholesale side, which is, again, most of you know, and things of that nature. So we're going to go through the whole gamut here. And at the end, I will take questions. So you'll be able to type in your questions, and then I'll read the question back to everybody so that they know what's going on. So a couple things here before we get started, before I waste anybody's time, because this thing can go, if it goes long in the tooth, it can go an hour and a half. I like to try to get them in within an hour, but I really work on, sometimes it'll go an hour and a half. We don't supply leads, and you must have your state certification through the NMLS SAFE Act and your state. Now, you're okay to be on here if you're working on it and you're striving to get to that point. But that is one thing that you have to do. In our industry, you have got to be approved. So there is no doubt there. They will put a shotgun to your head if you're not. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started about what we do here. So again, what we're going to discuss here is who we are, which is, again, we are a fully delegated lender. We are FHA approved, VA approved, USDA approved to underwrite and close loans in our own name. We also have the ability to work in the broker channel. So if you want to broker to the likes of Quicken, PRMG, Carrington, Freedom, Flagstar, whoever, we give you the ability to broker with them. And we also have proprietary agreements set up with some of these lenders so you can act as a broker but get paid as a lender. And I'm going to tell you, in today's world, compensation is everything. We are all dying on the vine right now. I've been in the business since probably 94, 95. So, and I have seen it. I mean, it's been nothing but a roller coaster ride. But to say anything, by trade, I majored in civil engineering. And through the faith of fraternity brothers and some other God-willing things, I ended up in the mortgage industry, and I actually ended up loving that. So, probably wasted my time on that engineering degree and should have went business, but here we are. Okay, so what we are is we're licensed. Currently, we're licensed in 32 states. We've got another 8 pending, and then probably within the next year, we'll have all 50. So we'll be able you'll be able to do loans in all 50 states. If you're not licensed there, you'll be able to use our transition desk. Our transition desk charges $5.95. That's it. So you'll be able to, if you're in New York and you want to do a loan in Florida, guess what? The transition desk is only going to charge you $5.95 for doing that, which is pretty good because I hear people out there taking 50% of the deal and things like that. And that's not fair. So that's one thing we're fair. So in working with us, we have the ability to process, underwrite, and close loans in our name. So we are the smorgasbord of the industry. You can do everything here. All right. If you want to bring in your own processor, we are welcome to that. The upside is that we're the lender. So if you don't go wholesale and you go on the proprietary channel or the delegated channel and you want to use your own processor, your processor can now collect her fee, and that person does not have to be licensed. All right. We are one of the fastest growing lenders in the country. So we went from 28 pre-pandemic to almost 300 now. So we're obviously doing something right. I would be kidding you if I told you everything is perfect, and that is not true. We always have issues. There's always issues with people. You can't do it. We're people. and people are going to have issues with people. So with that, we have over 100 lenders. If you do like to broker, one of the things that I'm going to tell you about later on in the session is brokering with us is going to save you money as opposed to the big box guys as well. If you broker with us, we generally charge a flat fee. So if there's a compensation factor on there of 2.75, you're going to make the whole 2.75 and we're going to charge you a flat fee. So what does this mean for everybody and what they're getting into? Right? This is the biggest thing in the mortgage industry that you need for your toolbox. You need options. That has to be the number one tool that you have while you're doing loans. Because if you don't have options and you're just broker into UWM, good luck. Because you're going to be stuck up a tree, that you can't do anything with. What are you going to do with that 560 score? What are you going to do with that 520 score? Oh, and by the way, you can't make hardly anything on it because the lender is charging you out the kazoo to do anything. Well, as us being the lender now, guess what? Now you can charge the borrower points. So we'll go more into that as we go. But remember, the main thing you're looking at here is options. You're not forced just to broker. You're not forced with just a 2.75 compensation. You've got other options. Our underwriters are a lot less strict than that one over at UWM. Those UWM people over there can be tough. So, all right, so let's go into this here. Some of the questions that you should ask yourself. So you're going to want to write some questions down, obviously, as we're going along. And some of the main things that you really want to ask yourself is how quickly can you get your loans underwritten? Because all three channels offer a different diversity in times being underwritten, right? And then how quickly can you get your loans closed? Are you going to be able to do some of this stuff at wholesale that you can with delegated? No, I can tell you that no. And when I tell you we can close a loan in 2 weeks, I'm not kidding. We can close a loan in 2 weeks. And I'm not talking about that 780 credit score guy with an 80% LTV and working at his job for 25 years, with a 28 DTI. I'm talking about a self-employed borrower, with a 620 credit score, things of that nature, that are just make you crazy. So pricing. So that's, the quicker that you can get everything set up, the quicker you can lock. And we'll let you blind lock over here. Whereas in some cases, some of the wholesale lenders aren't going to let you blind lock. All right. So what we're going to go into now is we're going to go into exactly what each channel does. All right. So you're going to understand the difference between delegated, proprietary, and wholesale. Again, most of you, I feel like, are going to have an understanding of the wholesale channel. So that's probably not going to be where we're spending a lot of time. We're probably going to spend most of our time in understanding pricing and looking at payouts on the delegated side. So, all right, so let's go into the delegated side. That's what we're going to want to see first. So with the delegated loan, a delegated loan gives the company that you're working with, like us, the ability to underwrite the loan. So we can actually, once you take the loan app, we will disclose it. So if we need to disclose that day, that's fine. We'll get the docs out to the customer that day, order the appraisal that day, order the title that day, order this or that. For people out there who have their own processors, this is something that they're going to have to learn how to do. Because if they've been brokering the whole time, we're going to have to catch them up to par on how things work with the delegated. And they're going to want to charge more than $495. You can bet the farm on that. All right. Again, we underwrite our loans and close our loans in our own name. You're going to price through our pricing engine, Optimal Blue. You're going to lock through LendingPad. We use LendingPad as our software. So you're going to be able to do all your pricing and your locking through there. And you're going to see that pricing is generally better with delegated than it is brokering. Why? Because we're doing all the work. Okay, so that's the thing. Also, you're going to find with the delegated, you do not have a compensation plan. So what does that mean? And I'm sure people are like, I don't understand what you're talking about here, because you're always thinking 2.75. I'm going to go look at this rate, and this rate's where I'm going to find 2.75. Well, you're going to wipe that out now. You're going to say to yourself, I want to make 3 points on this deal. Forget, okay, how am I, what am I going to do to make 3 points? On the delegated side, you have the ability to make 3 points. On the proprietary side, you have the ability to make 3 points. On the wholesale side, no good, no bueno. You're only going to make 2.75. And then, then your company, whoever you're working for, is going to come take their bips or their fees or whatever they do. So then all of a sudden you're not making 2.75. With us, you're making 2.75 no matter what, or 3 or 4. Whatever the lock says is what you're going to make. All right, so the proprietary channel. The proprietary channel is similar to the lender channel, and it's similar to the broker channel. So how does that work? So what happens is, let's say you like PRMG, but you need to make some money on the deal because it's $100,000 deal. You're like, God, I can't, I'm not gonna work for $2,700 minus, all the fees that are gonna get extracted from that. What do I walk away with? Self-employed borrower, going crazy. So this here in the proprietary channel gives you the ability to underwrite with the lender, such as Quicken, such as PRMG, such as Freedom, such as whoever. We have these proprietary agreements set up where you can actually have them underwrite they won't process it. You'll have to process it. They'll disclose it, underwrite it, and then if you want, we'll draw the docs or they'll draw the docs. Either or, doesn't matter. So here the upside is, again, no compensation plan. So if you have $100,000 deal and you're going to send it to Freedom, and you say to yourself, okay, 2.75 just is not worth me to do it. And then me ending up making 1.75. It's a lot of work. So you might even throw the loan away. You might just tell the people you can't do it. Now you've got the ability to say, forget that. You go and price the loan out. You look at the rate sheet and it has a 103. So you're going to make 3 on the back, of which the borrower does not see that compensation. The borrower's not going to have any clue that you're making that on the back. And then you charge them 1 origination, so you make 4 points on the deal. So you're going to walk away with $4,000. Right? Again, that's the upside there. So if you have your favorite lenders, which I know there are people that do, that PRMG or Freedom, you can still use them. You don't have to go delegated. You can use this proprietary. Again, another option. Options. That's what you want here. I got to drill that into everybody's head. You're not just stuck brokering. But last but not least, of course, that's what we're going to talk about is brokering. So I'll go over this really quick. I think we all know this, unless you're new to the industry. The lender is going to underwrite the loan. Well, the underwriter is going to disclose the loan, underwrite the loan, close the loan in their name. You're going to price with the lender, so you're going to have to watch your lots, make sure you need any extensions or what's going on there. Boom. If you make anything over 2.75, you're going to have to give that as a lender credit. Whereas on your proprietary side and your delegated side, you don't have to do that. So you're not going to have to do that. So again, we all know the broker side and how everybody feels about that. So let's go to next. What we want to do is we want to understand the compensation here. So again, with all 3 channels, there is night and day in what you're dealing with. All right, so it is just purely night and day. On the lender side, which is your proprietary channel, and your delegated side, you're not going to expose your YSP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a scenario here. And I think mostly everybody in here is familiar with Optimal Blue. because if you've worked for a wholesale lender, you've gone into a PRMG, you've gone into a first guarantee, or you've gone into even, UWM, and you've priced the loan. So you know what this looks like. So here we go. So let's take a look here at a couple things here. So I'm going to click on a new search here. All right. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and price out a loan real quick. So we're going to do a loan amount. We're going to do an FHA loan. Let's do 386. All right. The loan amount's going to be 400. Okay. It's going to be a purchase. All right. We're going to do it I'm going to do it on the delegated channel, not the proprietary channel, which is called non-delegated. So we're going to do a 680 credit score. So we're going to do a DTI of 42. Let's see here. We're going to do Florida. Let's do Broward County. All right, let's take a look there. We're going to click on FHA. And so what we're going to do is we're going to price shop this. So we're going to see what it looks like based on the rate. So I'm going to say, let's tag in 5.5 right now on a rate and see what we get. So I'm going to submit this. Okay, so now on the delegated side, this is what you're going to see. Now, we are very transparent. We really don't have to tell you who we're selling the loan to because you don't really see it, but we do. We're very transparent in who we deal with and what we do. We believe in you knowing things and certain things that you do. So here we are. So we just priced out an FHA loan, 680, 5.5. Our pricing here with PHH is 3.635. So now, if you were looking at that 3.625 in the wholesale channel, you know the best that you're going to make is 2.75. So now, if in our case, you don't have to do that. That 3.635 is 2.75. That's a difference of 88 bips. That is all yours. You get to keep that. That's yours. And by the way, that 3.625 does not show up on the CD. So you're not going to see on the CD where it says lender paid 3.625 and you have to give it. That is hidden from the borrower. The borrower does not see this. So you do not have to worry about that. So people are like, oh, well, I'm going to tell you sometimes that can be really daunting. If you're making 10, 15 grand on a deal, that could come into play here. So this is exactly what you're looking at here if you did this. So let me see if I can pull up a payout sheet. All right, so this here is a loan officer who's been with us for the whole time, for the last 5 years. He locked this butcher guy into whatever. He did a loan amount here. We're seeing a 510. He got a lock price of 5.1627. So he got this when he got lucky. So the rates, he hit this right on target. So he did really good on this file. So that's how this kind of works here. So he goes in, as you can see, he locked with us, did the whole lock confirmation, loan closed, and then he set in his payout fee and stuff. Actually, so this is what he ended up making on the file right here. Now, what he did was he gave what is called a lender credit. So yeah, ultimately his pricing came in at 4.417. I'm not sure why. Maybe the lock got extended. Maybe things took too long. I'm not sure. But ultimately, that's what he ended up doing. So in his mind, he said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give the guy a lender credit. Maybe he's a friend or something. And so he ends up making $16,000 on the file. Okay, so again, You do not want your customers to see this. You don't want them to see this. They are not going to see this. So you do not have to worry about that. That is the main thing that you're looking for when you're dealing with delegated. I've had a gentleman that's worked for me through a couple different companies, and his name's Nick Leotis. You'll see him in the NMLS if you look us up. And he worked for us over at First Continental, then Centrix, and now this man he does 3 to 5, and when it's in a boom, 10 to 15 deals a month. He's brokered all his life. The last 2 years, once we finally got him to see the light about going with delegated lending, he loves it. He totally loves it. Now, we didn't stop him from brokering. He loved the brokering, but he began to realize how quicker he can get things done and handle that. So this is kind of this on FHA. I would say let's do I guess we could do a conventional. Take a look at some of those. So let's do a loan amount of 320. 400. Hopefully this is 80%. Yes, good. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna do a 780 credit score. We're gonna do a 32 ratio. Conforming, and then we're gonna do Broward. We're gonna select delegated again. All right, and then we are going to select a rate of, I'm gonna say 5.5 is not gonna net us as good, but let's take a look. So we're gonna take a look here. All right, so now we're gonna see at 5.5, what you're going to make here is, because you're competing with people, and the borrower is telling you, or he's saying, hey, I've got somebody that'll give me 5.65. Well, now you can say, well, I'll go to 5.5. So now you've got the ability to sit here and drive this down and go 5.5. And if you wanted to see if this keeps getting into a battle, you can click on this, and this will give you the rates here as you go down. So let's say you said, okay, well, I'm going to go to 5.375 next. I'm only going to make a point here. But remember, there's no compensation plan. So what you see here is what you make. So here you're only going to make, well, you're going to do 30-day lock. So you're only going to make 1 3/4. So again, you're going to make 1 3/4. You might look, he might look at that at his CD and say, well, God, the guy's charging me a point at 5.5 too, because he's going borrow or pay. So you might be able to sneak in a point. So you'll charge him a point on the front, and then you'll make 1.375 on the back, or 1.75, and then you charge, so you make 2.733 with him thinking that you only made a point. All right, so let's take a look at there. And then what I want to do is I want to do one more, is I want to do non-del. Now, if you do non-del, so let's see. Right, there we go. So if you do non-del, which I'm sure some of you do, we do it all. You know, we do bank statements, we do DSCR, everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a DSCR here for you as that. So that goes into our proprietary non-del channel. It's 80% LTV. We're going to keep everything pretty much the same, except for here, you're going to click on non-conforming. Down here, you have to click on expanded guidelines, which opens this up down here, and then document type. So as you see here, we can do all this kind of stuff: stated, written VRE, personal bank statements, business bank statements. You can do the TIN loans. You name it, you got it here. But we're going to do the DSCR loan. And we are going to see, we're not going to put in a rate here because we know 5.5 is a joke. So we're going to see if we can try and make 2 points on this. All right, and where that might be. So let's hit submit. Okay, so first guarantee, there we go. Some of these other lenders aren't playing along. So as you can see, a lot of people in the game here, but they aren't playing along. Redstone's really good for this. Verus is really good for this. What do we got to see? This will tell you why it didn't land. So let's take a look at here. What's Verus saying? Interest only. Okay, so I should have clicked off interest only. But we that's okay. We don't need Verus in there. But I want you to see some of the lenders that we're dealing with on the non-QM. So we've got Axios, we've got all that other stuff too. So, all right. So here, okay, guys. So what you're looking at here is you're looking at a price of 7.5, and it's paying back 1.841. Yay, 1.841. Okay, so you go over to Angel Oak or whoever, and you say, well, they're paying 2. Now, over there, they're paying 2. I grant you that, but that's borrower paid. Okay, everybody knows on non-QM, you've got to go borrower paid. So guess what? On this right here, this is lender paid. You're making 1.81 on the back. So now, if you wanted to, you could charge the customer 2 on the front. So you're let's say you're competing with somebody, your rates are the same, and he's charging 2, you're charging nothing because he's not seeing anything on the back. And you say, well, look, I've got to make some money, so I'm going to beat him, and I'm only going to charge 1. So now you're going to make 2.841. You've won the deal. You've beat the broker at the deal, and he thinks you're only making a point on it. Telling you that comes in, I cannot tell you how great of a tool that is. So that's how that works. So that pretty much what we're dealing with here on the as far as the lender side, or as the delegated side and the proprietary side. So let's go back over here and let's see here. So we just went into the delegated. I always run a little bit behind here. So we did delegated again. You know, generally has the best price. You know, best pricing. Not always though. The broker does beat us out once in a while. I'm not going to lie. Again, that's why we give you the option to do what you want to do. We're here to let you make that decision. I am not jamming you up to broker the deal. You don't have to broker the deal. You don't have to run the deal delegated or proprietary. So here, same thing now with the proprietary. The proprietary is the same way as the delegated. You're going to price the same exact way. So you're going to, again, the situation is going to be where the lender's doing the underwriting, and then the closing, and you're going to lock it through PRMG or whoever. So yeah, so that's exactly what you're going to see there. So then let's go. So really going into proprietary pricing isn't going to show you any more than delegated did. So again, you don't see the compensation on the back, only what you charge the borrower. And then last but not least, everybody's go-to, the wholesale channel. So this is where we all know what it's all about as far as compensation. It's 2.75. It's always how it is. So with that being said, that's all you're going to make. That's all the rules that will allow you to make is a max of 2.75, where you're set up with the lender. So let's take a look at that there for all those who haven't done it. Again, you see we have Loan Sifter for you as well. So we are set up for you to do what you need to do. So let's go ahead and price out one here on this. So we're going to do a purchase price 400. Appraisal 400. We're going to do loan amount of 386. It's going to be FHA. So I'm going to do a FICO. We did last time was 680. All right, and then DTI 30. Who cares? Primary zip code 2. All right, and then we are going to do by price or by rate. I'm sorry. So we're going to go 5.5. We're going to go these in because obviously you don't want to get whacked out with that. Now remember, on the proprietary channel and on the delegated channel, you have the ability to charge the underwriting fee to the borrower, whereas here you don't. So here you're stuck with fees in or fees out. And obviously you're going to do the fees in because you don't want them whacking you for, I think now Freedom's at 1100, PRMG's at 1000. I think Quicken's at 995, UWM's at 995. So we're going to take a look at this here and we're going to submit this. Okay, so at 5.5. All right, so we're going to see here a pricing of 3. So this shows the rates down there. So this is going to show a pricing of 3.676. Now, we all know that you cannot make more than 2.75 on this. So in order to make more than the 2.75, or you've got to go to the delegated or proprietary channel, or you're going to actually have to give the borrower a lender credit for the difference of the 2.75, which is almost a point here. So some people don't mind doing it, which is fine. I get it. Sometimes you've got to do what you got to do to make the deal work. But in a lot of ways, I know I'd rather be putting that money in my pocket. So let's try a conventional here. 20. I'm going to do a 720 credit score here, and then I'm going to submit here, and then let's see what we get here. Okay, so now here you're stuck a little bit. So you're seeing that Rocket, aka Quicken, at 5.5 is paying back 1.524. So now you're going to have to go borrower paid because you're not hitting the compensation plan. Where with us, guess what? If you're happy making the 1.15524, you don't have to show the borrower that you're making it. It'll go into what is so-called lender paid, and you'll make that money on the back. And you don't have to let the borrower know that you made anything. Nothing. You want to charge the borrower a half point on the front and then make this on the back, you can. So again, so this is our loan sifter. So this is what you're going to use for your pricing on your wholesale. Now, with us on the wholesale, the compensation is a little different. So what we do is this, because we're a correspondent lender, we have the ability to lower our broker pricing to a fixed amount, right? This is why our fixed amount is cheap. We only charge on broker deals $12.95 or 20% of whatever the check is. So if you make 20 grand, yes, we're going to charge 4 grand. But if you make 12 or 10 grand, we're only going to charge $12.95. We're not going to charge you 20 or 40 bibs or 60 bibs or any of that stuff that everybody else is doing. So you're going to make the full 2.75. So I'm going to show you here what the compensation would look like from us and said competitor. So you have a loan amount of 400,000. Let's say we went with the compensation. We're going wholesale here. I'm just going to go wholesale up in here. So pay attention up into here. So we're going to go with 11,000 on the is what the total compensation would be on that. We're going to deduct our $12.95. We do charge a $2.95 QC fee. Now, lending pad, that $75 is once a month. So that's not out of every file. So you'll pay that monthly or you'll pay it all up front. I think we charge $600 if you pay it all up front for the year. So that's that. Now, processing here. If you process it yourself, the $475, you don't have to worry about that. With that, we will not take that out. Right? Now, this is our competition over here. So most of you are going to go to one of these big box lenders and talk to them. Again, you're stuck in the 2.75 compensation. No matter what, you're never going to make more, never going to make less. Most of these guys are taking 60, 70, 80 bips. So if they take 60 bips, they're taking out 2,400. A lot of them will have what is called a mentor fee, a QC fee or some other fees in there they'll whack you with 500, 600, 700. They don't charge any of that. Then their system, I hear they're charging, some of them are charging $100 a month. And of course, they're going to whack you with the processing fee. So as you see, you're going to make more money with us. Now, here's the real winner down here. This is where you win. This is if you go delegate, you take the same exact file, you send it delegated, and you make 3.25 pricing on it. Here's what it is. You're going to make $13,000. If you haven't paid your lending pad fee for the month, we're going to take that out. You're going to make $12,925. However, if you've paid your lending pad fee, you're going to make the whole $13,000. So I can tell you right now, between $8,000, $8,800, I'm taking the $13,000 all day. I just am. I'm here to make money, and that's what I'm here to do. Don't get me wrong. I do deals sometimes that are crazy and they're free, and sometimes I have a big heart and I let things get by me and I don't make much, but that's life. But I try to make money where I can. That's always the other thing I want to explain too. We're talking about making more money, which is good, which is a ceiling, but there's a floor as well. So with the floor with us, as I showed you, on the pricing where it had 1.15, that's a floor. So now instead of going borrower paid and charging that borrower, because you have to fight your way into a compensation plan, now you're just going with this and then having to give a lender credit and doing all this. Now you're just making it real simple. You're just going to make your 1.5 on the back and call it a day. Okay, so, all right, some of our programs, we got it all. And if we ain't got it all, we will get it for you. Conventional, FHA, DPAs, down payment assistance programs. I'm going to tell you this right now. You're not brokering these. I don't know anybody that does broker them. And if you do, you only make a point. At least with us, you can make 3. All right, 203Ks, high balances, jumbos, 5 millions, manufactured homes, land lot loans, doctor loans with no money down, reverse mortgages. Boy, if you're doing those and you're making 15 points, you can bet you don't want your borrower seeing that. That's for daggone sure. I can promise you that. So you've got your investor loans, fixed and adjustable, the DSCR loans, your EIN loans or TIN loans, your DACA loans. Again, you got to be a lender. So stated bank statements, we've got HELOCs, second mortgages, all of it. We've got it all. Smorgasbord's here. We're signed up with things that brokers can't do, that you're not going to be able to do. Hometown Heroes. We're signed up with Hometown Heroes. You're not going to do Hometown Heroes being a broker. So if you're starting to see that, you're not going to get that. So here's the thing too. This is going into a branch. All right. One of the things that we encourage our individuals to do is work to try to strive to get people under themselves. Now, not everybody's going to do that. I mean, honestly, I'm in my mid 50s, and if I was doing this, if I'm out on the street right now, I'm just hustling and making my own deals. I don't want to babysit a bunch of people. I don't want to start a branch, have to deal with all the internal politics, all that stuff. So, but if you do, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of young guys out there, young men and young ladies out there, especially seeing more from the ladies than I am the guys, that really want to start their own branch. And what we will do is our recruiters, as you have spoken with, many of you have spoken with, will recruit for your branch. So you'll get a general rapport with that branch. You'll have the ability to hire your own processors. Once you get up to status that you know what you're doing, and you've got 3 or 4 loan officers, 5 loan officers working for you, we'll let you hire an underwriter. Again, you bring on your loan officers. You can use you'll be able to have the ability to use your DBA. You're going to handle your own payroll. We're going to set you up with a checking account where you have the ability in this checking account to run your own payroll, order business, run a business. You're going to be able to run a business. you're going to set up your margins too. You're going to have the ability to set your margins as the branch manager up so that you can make money. So if you're in Pittsburgh and you started a branch, some of your LOs might be in Ohio, some of them might be in Indiana, some of them might be in Virginia. I don't know. So you acquire a group of a team. You acquire a team. So they're sending all their loans to you for processing, depending on the time, underwriting, and then all the money is going to go to your account. In fact, whenever you close a broker deal, you have the title company send it directly to your broker account. It's going to go directly to your account. All right, we'll see it in there. We'll pull out our $12.95 and $2.95, once a week, and then that's it. So you are going to be your own boss. You're going to be, our branch managers that are doing it love it. And I would suggest, if you're really interested in that, to, we'll set you up with some conversations with some so that you understand the pitfalls and the huge upsides. Because you're going to say, I want to make 50 bips off my LOs. You might say, all right, I've got a good LO over here. I'm going to give him the best pricing I can. Ray set me up with an optimal blue where I'm only making 25 bips off this guy. This guy over here, this girl over here, she's wearing me out. I'm on the phone with her all day. She's in and out of my office all day. Here's her login. You might want to make 75 bips on that. So you're going to set your own margins on what you feel like you need to make. All right. So transition desk. So again, what we were talking about earlier, we're licensed in 32 states now, more coming. So if you're in Pittsburgh and you've got a deal in Florida, but you don't have a Florida branch license, you're going to be able to do it through our transition desk, and we only charge $5.95. Like I said, I've heard war stories out there where people are charging half of their commission and then taxing. I've heard some really wicked stuff out there. So it can be really wicked out there on things like that. So that's going to happen with that. Also, again, one of the things that I had brought up is the 1099 factor. There's only about 4 states, I know North Carolina and Virginia are a couple of them, Nevada, that require you to W-2. So you're going to W-2 yourself $500, and then you're going to 1099 yourself the rest. So that's how that's going to work. Or look, if you want to be W-2, because some people want it. Some people are irresponsible and, they're like, hey, I've been jammed up with the IRS before. I don't want to go down that path. I want my W-2 taken out. Let's do it. So we're going to take out the W-2 for you if you so need. All right, so state-of-the-art technology. So our LOS system is LendingPad. It is cloud-based and it is very user-friendly. So it kicked me out, so let me log back in here. So let's not make me look silly here. So this LendingPad is super easy. Super duper easy. I mean, if you used Encompass, this will be a joke to you. You can do everything you want in LendingPad. You're going to be able to lock your loans here. You'll be able to do everything in LendingPad. Run DU. It has where you can look on it. It's got a whole thing where you can click on it and it'll take you to Zillow and it'll do price comparisons, the whole 9 yards. You can run your credit in here, your DU, your LP. Again, lock your loans if you're going delegated. If you're locking your loans on wholesale, as well as I do, the only possible way is to log into the lender and submit the DU and then lock it that way. But you're going to love this. So you'll have the ability to run pipeline reports, to do everything. This thing is beautiful. Forget Calyx. I'm stuck in here as loan officers. I mean, you are really going to enjoy it. Everybody that gets in here really loves it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some haters. I guess that would be a lie. There are some haters, but for the most part, Everybody does love it. So I don't know why I'm having such a hard time here pulling the pipeline up. Nevertheless, so you're gonna learn that. You're gonna get a good really tutorial on that. Your AE is going to show you that. One of the other things is Surefire. So we're signed up with Surefire. Surefire is a CRM that is just totally awesome. You're going to be able to do so much marketing in there. It's crazy. So let's go to our website here. So I'm going to show you some of the things about our website. So this is our website. And over here is our employee portal. So you're going to click on your employee portal. And your employee portal is going to take you to the back end of the website. And within the back end of the website, in our world in here, in the Obsidian world, your username is your email address, and you're going to make your password up. This is what we call the intranet. All right, this is the back end of the website. But as you can, I don't know if some of you saw it earlier, we have SharePoint. Everything you do when you log into Surefire, Lending Pad, everything, you are going to use that as your username and password. So here's Surefire and how to use it in here. And so up here you have training, like Lending Pad training. There's just tons of videos. So you're going to, this thing is full of everything. You'll order all your business cards. You need flyers in here. There's flyers in here. There's everything in here. You need to look for a lender in here for PRMG to get login criteria. It's all in here. It's all in your intranet. So you're going to have, the site is awesome. It's so friendly user. It's unbelievable. So you're going to have access to that. We've really geared it up to help you to make your life as easy as possible, without a doubt. So let's go back here. All right. So again, we have lead sources. Some of our lead sources are Experian. So we're signed up with Experian and Equifax. So you can buy trigger leads from them. You can purchase leads from Lead Pops. I mean, we've got them all. And they're all on the intranet on how to sign up, where to go, what to do to get yourself started. Surefire. You're going to love Surefire because every time you close a loan and anytime that borrower makes a move, Surefire is going to notify you. If the borrower pulls credit, you're going to get a notification from Surefire. So everything you do is going to go into Surefire, and that is going to be your marketing tool. And hopefully, if you're here over a long period of time, this thing will be your heartbeat to everything that you do, without a doubt. Okay. So we went through Lending Pad a little bit, so I kind of gave you a little bit of that. Like I said, integrated with our pricing engine, you'll be able to price out in there the whole 9 yards. Optimal Blue, we all took a good look at that. So you got a really good idea on how Optimal Blue works, where that goes, how things work in that aspect. Surefire, again, that's our CRM. Again, it's owned by Optimal Blue, and which is Black Knight, and they are phenomenal when it comes to this. At some point, we'll end up switching over to Encompass, but you know, we've got a ways to go. The intranet, which I just showed you, what that looked like going in and out of there. All the things you're going to get in there, the things that you can handle in there, things you could do in there, and all the benefits of being within there. That's your world in there. Okay. One of the things that we do here at Obsidian is assign you a salary account executive. Okay, that account executive is your mentor, is your assistant, is everything to you. They are going to handle everything. They will structure your loan from A to Z. If it takes them 2 hours, They're going to help you do it. And they might say to you, you know, look, John, look, Michelle, send this thing broker. Let me give you PRMG's login information. Reach out to Corey Brzezinski. Go broker with this thing. It's way better. You're going to get it done a lot quicker, a lot easier. Or it's going to tell you, hey, go on the proprietary channel. You've got a construction to perm loan here. You need to make money on it. It's a one-time close, so you're going to get paid on it right away, but you're not going to do it for 1 point or 2 points or 2.75. You need to make money on these things. They're hard to do loans. 203K loan, hard to do loans. You're not going to be satisfied with 2.75 minus an out abstraction of fees. People aren't going to be shopping you too hard on that. So your account executive is your mentor, is your everything. They will help you through the fire no matter what. If you ever have a problem, we have teams. We're signed up with teams. So you'll always be able to instant message me or direct message me anytime you want, or Andre or anybody. We're always here for you. I have people reaching out to me every day, and I'll say, okay, this is where you got to go here. This is how you got to go there. Let me go look into this for you. Why isn't this, why haven't you gotten paid out? Let me check. So I'm there. We're all there for you. Teams, and we're there for you. All right. So just to kind of summarize everything up before we go into a Q&A, is what have we learned it? And what have we strived to understand here? And that is options. Options. I am not sticking you just in a wholesale delegated channel. If you feel comfortable starting out there and you want to do a couple loans with us like that, and then let's say you've got a hard one that got rejected by UWM or Quicken or whoever, but you got 2 others you're going to like, I'm going to stick these with Quicken. I'm going to stick these over here for now because I need to get paid. I'm just comfortable doing this. And then you take that hard one and that's your learning curve. And let's say, okay, that's what I want to be my learning curve. So you go, all right, Mr. Mentor, Mike Brown, I'm going to need your help on this file. So Mike Brown is going to step in and he's going to show you how to structure that deal. Again, so you're going to have options. What was turned down is no longer turned down. What was dead is now is not the Walking Dead, but it's come back to life. So, all right. So where do we go from here? So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a Q&A. But after the Q&A, how it works is this. We're going to ask you to reach out to your recruiter. If you were contacted by a recruiter or you were going back and forth with a recruiter. If not, I'm going to show you on the next slide where you can reach out to us. And within 24 hours, you will be speaking to a recruiter. Okay, after that, we're going to send you a copy of the contract. So we have a contract so that you can look it over. And if everything looks good, then you're going to go ahead and e-sign it. All right, then from there, you're going to go in and request sponsorship from the NMLS. So you're saying to yourself, well, can't leave now because I got a couple files over here at Nexus. And I don't want to get screwed on my money because I know they're going to take it. Then what we'll do is we'll let you use the transition desk while you're finishing up with your current employer. So we will allow that. Next thing you do is every Monday we have an onboarding. So onboarding is a lot longer than this. It is like 2 to 3 hours because you will have tons of questions, especially if you're going from the broker world and you really want to enter the lending world. And I'm going to tell everybody something. I've been doing this for a long time. And if you are looking to be in this business as a career and you want to go out there and get loans from realtors and market yourself in that platform, you're going to have to be a lender. Because brokering deals, they never last. I see people start out that way, and then 6 or 8 months later, I'm like, what happened? They go, yeah, it didn't work out. I went over here. I'm like, why didn't you call me? He's like, well, I'm like, well, no, I don't know. I get it. You wanted to go try the broker thing? Don't be shy. You could have come to me. So look, if you decide that we're not it right now, I don't want you to think, oh, I told you so. Not at all. We always wanted to take you back. You're always welcome here. I have people that leave and then come back. They think the grass is greener. They're talking to 100 people. Then they find out, well, it's not so green. It's more like a blue or brown. So you'll go through orientation, and then once that happens, you're off and running. You're gonna have access. Once you get your email set up, you'll have access to the intranet for all the marketing cards, business cards, flyers, lending pad, the ability to get going. We're not going to hold you up at all. So that's kind of it there. So, all right. So this kind of new. This just got tossed in on me here. So, all right. So we're going to do a little Q&A now. So, if you guys want to start asking questions, Andre, you might want to pop in here with me to help me out a little bit here. And I can go ahead and probably start taking questions in the Teams lending spot here. All right, so I think I'm in here. I'm going to flip into the chat. Okay. So, William, where do leads come from? Okay, again, we're going to give you the lead sources. Equifax, you might want to purchase them from Equifax, Experian, Lead Pops, things of that nature. So, anywhere in there. So that's where you want to go there, William. All right. Anybody else got some questions here? I got no questions. Oh, come on. I can't be this good. I know that, man. It's got to be something. Okay. Okay. Obsidian is a retail lender, not a broker. Do leads cost? Okay. So, all right. Obsidian is not a retail lender. What we are is Obsidian is a lender and a broker. We're not sticking you as one or the other. It's options, Rika. So no matter what, if you want to broker, you can broker. There's no doubt. You're not stuck being a retail lender. We're not a retail lender. We're a delegated lender. So you saw when I ran the scenario for you, and it was in delegated, and you saw 3.625. You saw over to the left all the lenders that were offering the pricing. So let's say you got a vendetta against Planet. You're like, look, I'm going to lock this loan, but even though it's making 20 bips better, I'm not going with Planet. I'm going to lock it over here with Lakeview. So you're going to do that. So no, we're not a retail lender. We are a lender, but we're not a retail lender. And we're a lender broker. Options, my friend, options. Okay, so let's see. Wait. Okay, so you give us the sources, and then it comes up to us to just cold call.